Morning students. Today we will study the physical properties of aldehydes and ketones. Students, when we study the first physical property, the first property which we study is its physical state, isn't it? So, physical state. In the physical state, the first member of aldehydes and ketones, that is methanol, it is a gas. And it is often stored in the form of a 40% aqueous solution in the name of formalin. And where this formalin is used? This formalin is used as a preservative in preserving the biological specimen. Other than methanol, ethanol, it is a liquid, and other members, higher members, are either liquid or solid. Right, so this is regarding the physical state. Now come to the second physical property, that is odor. So the lower members, they have pungent odor, such as the methanol has pungent odor, benzaldehyde has bitter almond like odor, right? So lower members, they smell pungent. Lower members have pungent odor. Whereas as we move to the higher members, their smell become less pungent and more fragrant. Right, higher members, they are fragrant. Therefore, these aldehydes and ketones, they are used in perfume industry widely. Right, for the essence they are used, as well as for the perfume industry they are used. Now come to the boiling point. Now in aldehydes and ketones, we have this carbonyl group, and this carbonyl group, here oxygen is more electronegative than carbon. Due to this, oxygen become partially negative and carbon become partially positive. It means the molecule has some polarity, and due to this polarity, it will have a dipole-dipole interaction between the carbon of one molecule and the oxygen of the other molecule. Therefore, extra force will be required to break this bond. Hence, their boiling point will be higher than the corresponding ethers or alkane. But the boiling point of aldehydes and ketones, they will be higher than alkanes and ether, but lower than that of alcohol. Now, why they are lower than alcohol? Because you know that in alcohol, intermolecular hydrogen bonding is present, which is not present in aldehydes and ketones. Aldehydes and ketones cannot form intermolecular hydrogen bond in between their molecules. Right, and therefore the boiling point is lesser than that of alcohol, but it is more than that of ether or corresponding alkenes, because the dipole-dipole interaction is lesser in ether or alkene. Understood? And that is the higher boiling point of aldehydes and ketones as compared to ether and alkane is due to this dipole-dipole interaction. Now let us come to the solubility. The fourth property we will study is solubility. Now, though the aldehydes and ketones, they are incapable of forming intermolecular hydrogen bond within themselves, but they are capable of forming intermolecular hydrogen bond with water molecule. Right? Therefore, these compounds, they are soluble in water. But as the size of this alkyl group which is attached here, it increases, the solubility decreases, right? So lower member are soluble, but in the case of higher member, the solubility is very less. But all of them, they are highly soluble in the organic solvent. Got it? So this is regarding the physical properties of aldehydes and ketones. Now let us do some question based on this physical property. There are four compounds given, that is, we have been given butanol, then butanol, then diethyl ether, and pentane. Right, Now they all have the molecular masses from 72 to 74, means they have comparable molecular mass, and we have to arrange them in increasing order of boiling point. So let us number them. This is first, second, third and fourth. Now out of these compounds, one is alcohol, the other is aldehyde, and ether and alkene. Now you know that the alcohols, they will have intermolecular hydrogen bonding and they will have the maximum boiling point, right? Then aldehydes, they will have dipole-dipole interaction more than that of ether, because the polarity in the case of ether is lesser than that of aldehyde. So the boiling point of aldehyde will be more than that of ether, right? And the least polarity is present in the alkene, hence the boiling point of alkene is least. So let us arrange them, means the alkenes will have the least polarity, so least boiling point. Then we will have ether, then we will have aldehyde, and then we will have alcohol, means alcohol will have the maximum boiling point. Understood? Due to intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Now similar one more question is given. We have been given ethanol, then we have been given ethanol, dimethyl ether and propane. You have to again arrange them in increasing order of their boiling points. So now you can do this own. It's a similar question. Try to do on your own, right? Now let us come to the chemical properties of aldehydes and ketones. So we will study the chemical properties of aldehydes and ketones. Now you know that in aldehydes and ketones, they both contain the carbonyl group, hence they will undergo similar type of reaction. Though there is double bond present, but contrary to the electrophilic addition reaction, they will undergo nucleophilic addition reaction, right? So the reactions which are undergone by aldehydes and ketones, they are categorized as nucleophilic addition reactions, which are the major reactions shown by aldehydes and ketone. Nucleophilic addition reaction, then we will study reduction reaction, then we will study oxidation, then the reactions due to alpha hydrogen and other reactions. These 5 type of reactions we will study in aldehydes and ketones, right? So let us start with nucleophilic addition reaction. So first we will study the mechanism of nucleophilic addition reaction, how the reaction take place. Now you know that this carbonyl group is a polar group. Oxygen being more electronegative, under electromagnetic effect, these 5 electrons, they get transferred to oxygen. So oxygen will become negatively charged and carbon will become positively charged. Now what will happen? A nucleophile will come and attack this positively charged carbon and will get attached here. So a nucleophile will come and attach here. This oxygen will become negatively charged, so anion will be formed. This is the slowest step, hence redetermining step. Since the 2 molecules are participating in this redetermining step, it follows SN2 mechanism, right? Now this anion formed, it accepts a proton in a fast step, and a addition product will be formed. So first of all, a nucleophile attacks and get added to the positively charged carbon, then it accepts a proton and the addition product is formed. So this is how the mechanism of nucleophilic addition reaction take place. Understood? Now let us see the reactivity of various aldehydes and ketones. The reactivity of aldehydes and ketones, it depends upon 2 factors. The first factor being the steric hindrance. And the second factor is electronic factor. The first factor is steric hindrance, the other one is electronic factor. Now see here. Here the nucleophile is attacking this carbon which is attached to two groups. If suppose here the two groups which are attached, they are bulkier group, then it will become difficult for the nucleophile to come and attack this positively charged carbon. Hence, lesser the bulkier group present on this carbon, more will be its tendency to undergo nucleophilic addition reaction. Means the aldehydes, they will certainly have one hydrogen and the other alkyl group, so they will undergo these reactions faster than that of ketones, because in ketones here both the alkyl groups will be present. So more as the size of this alkyl groups increases due to steric hindrance, the reactivity of the aldehydes and ketones decreases. So that is the first factor. Understood? Now let us come to the next factor, that is electronic factor. Now you know that these alkyl groups, they have which effect? Plus I effect. When they have plus I effect, now this carbon is positively charged. So when plus I effect groups are attached to this positively charged carbon, they will release the electron towards this carbon. Hence the electron density on the carbon will intensify, right, will increase. So the polarity of this bond will decrease. Hence it will become difficult for the nucleophile to come and attack here, because already it is getting the electron from these two alkyl group. So the positive charge decreases, so nucleophile attraction will decrease. Hence it will become difficult for the nucleophile to come and attack here. But instead of this alkyl group, if one is hydrogen, then the carbon will have lesser electrons, electron density will be less. Hence the nucleophile can come and easily attack. It means that aldehydes, they will undergo the nucleophilic addition reaction faster than that of ketone, because in aldehyde only one plus I effect group is attached, whereas in ketones there are two plus I effect group attached. Now one question is asked, say if there is one propanol, we will say C2H5H, propanol, and the other one we have benzaldehyde given, right? Out of these two, which will have more reactivity towards the nucleophilic addition reaction? So you can say that here, since we have this electron withdrawing group, so it will withdraw the electron from this carbonyl carbon. Hence the positive charge will increase, so nucleophile can easily come and attack here. But you know, in benzaldehyde, this carbonyl group, it has minus M effect, means it is electron withdrawing. It will withdraw the electron from the benzene ring, so the carbon will become negatively charged, means the electron density on carbon increases due to its minus M effect. Hence the polarity decreases and it becomes difficult for the nucleophile to come and attack there, right? I will show the resonating structure of benzaldehyde. See here, in benzaldehyde, though this benzene ring, it is electron withdrawing, right, but this carbonyl group is also electron withdrawing. It shows minus M effect. This shows minus I effect, but this shows minus M effect. And due to this minus M effect, what happens? Let us draw the resonating structure. These electrons, they move here, so there will be double bond. These electrons will move here, O minus, right, and here positive charge will come. So this carbon, it will become more electron dense. The positive charge will decrease, right, which is there in the case of other aldehydes and ketones. And due to this, the benzaldehyde reactivity decreases. Understood? So benzaldehyde is less reactive for the nucleophilic addition reaction than propanol or any other aldehyde. Got it? Now let us come to the hope you understood this electronic factor also. Means more the plus I effect group attached to the carbonyl carbon, then lesser will be the its reactivity towards the nucleophilic addition reaction, because the polarity of the bond decreases. Hence nucleophile cannot easily attack. Understood? Now let us come to the various nucleophilic addition reaction. among the nucleophilic addition reactions, the first one we will study is reaction with hydrogen cyanide. Right. So when these carbonyl compounds, they react with hydrogen cyanide. Now in hydrogen cyanide, H plus Cn minus, partial is there, partial bond is there, partial positive and partial negative, because it is a covalent bond. Right. So what will happen? You know that this negatively charge will go to the positive charge carbon. So first it will get attached here, Cn and O minus, and then H plus will go and attach here, and we will get the carbon containing hydroxyl group as well as nitrile group, and these compounds are known as cyanohydrin. So cyanohydrin is formed when aldehyde or ketone reacts with hydrogen cyanide, we get cyanohydrins. Now here this HCN, it is a weak nucleophile, therefore the reaction takes place very slow. In order to fasten the reaction and get a good yield of the cyanohydrin, we should do the reaction in the presence of base. When the reaction is done in the presence of base, it accepts the proton from this hydrogen cyanide and will give you the cyanide ion, which is a strong nucleophile. This is a weak nucleophile. Here cyanide ion will be stronger nucleophile. So if the reaction is done in the presence of base, the reaction would be faster. Or you can take potassium or sodium cyanide, which are ionic in nature, then also the speed of the reaction will become fast. Right. So let us take one example of this, such as suppose we have ethanol. When it reacts with hydrogen cyanide, then we get ethanol cyanohydrin. Right, ethanol cyanohydrin, that is common name for it. Now what is its IUPAC name? IUPAC name is 2-hydroxypropane nitrile. It is 2-hydroxypropane nitrile. Right, commonly they are known as cyanohydrin. So since it is of ethanol, it is known as ethanol cyanohydrin. So hope you understood this. Now let us come to the next reaction, that is reaction with sodium bisulfite. So the next reaction is reaction with sodium bisulfite. When the aldehydes or ketones, they react with sodium bisulfite, we get sodium bisulfite addition product, which is white crystalline solid, and it is highly soluble in water, and it is easily, we can get the parent aldehyde and ketone by treating it with dilute mineral acid or alkali. So it is a very good method to purify or to separate and purify aldehydes and ketones. So let us see the reaction. So any carbonyl compound we can take when we treat it with sodium bisulfite. Right, so here Na plus and bisulfite ion. So you know that this negatively charged bisulfite ion will go to the positively charged carbon. So we will get here SO3H and here O minus. Now before adding sodium, here proton shift will take place, because the sodium salt of sulfonic acid is more stable. Therefore proton shift will take place and we will have SO3 minus and OH. Right, and then sodium will add and we will get here sodium bisulfite addition product, which is white crystalline precipitate. Right, So this is how we can obtain the white crystalline precipitate, and then we can treat it with mineral acid to get the parent aldehyde or ketone, right? But here students, one drawback is there, that this reaction cannot be carried out by higher ketones or by the acetophenone. As the size of bulkier group increases, right, the alkyl group size increases, the reaction becomes slower, the nucleophilic addition reaction becomes slower, and in case of diethyl ketone or acetophenone, we cannot carry out the reaction because of the steric hindrance, right? So lighter aldehydes, that is methyl ketones, as well as the lower members of the aldehyde will undergo this reaction. Got it? So next we will study the addition of Grignard reagent. Though this section, addition of Grignard reagent, we have also studied in the method of preparation of alcohol. Once again we will study addition of Grignard reagent. Let us recall it, that when Grignard reagent is treated with methanol, RMGX, then we will get primary alcohols, right? This alkyl group will be negatively charged, will go to the carbon, and MgX will go to the oxygen, will add to the oxygen. Afterwards we will do hydrolysis to get the alcohol, isn't it? So OMGX, and here are, then we will do hydrolysis to get alcohol. Primary alcohols are formed. When the Grignard reagent is treated with methanol, then we get primary alcohol, right? It's a revision. You have studied this in alcohol chapter. Now instead of this primary alcohol, if I take instead of this methanol, formaldehyde, that is, if I take any other aldehyde, and will treat it with Grignard reagent, now it is ethanol, right? So now we will treat it with Grignard reagent. So here we will get CH3, and the alcohol which is formed is a secondary alcohol, isn't it? If instead of methanol any other aldehyde is taken and it is treated with Grignard reagent, then we get secondary alcohol. Let us take one more example of this. Say we have taken here ethanol, we treat it with methyl magnesium chloride, then methyl group and OMgCl here, then we will do its hydrolysis, and we will get here propanol, propane 2-ol, isn't it? So when Grignard reagent is treated with any other aldehyde, say ethanol, propanol, or any other aldehyde, then we get here secondary alcohol. So with methanol, primary alcohol, with any other aldehyde, we are getting secondary alcohol. Similarly, when this Grignard reagent, it is treated with ketone, then when it is treated with ketone, then we are going to get tertiary alcohol. Right, so tertiary alcohol will be formed. So with methanol, primary alcohol, any other aldehyde, secondary alcohol, and with ketone, tertiary alcohol is formed. So that is addition of Grignard reagent. Now let us come to the next, that is addition of alcohol. That is fourth one. addition of alcohol. Now when aldehydes, they react with equivalent quantity of monohydric alcohol in the presence of dry hydrochloric acid, right? So what will happen, or dry hydrogen chloride, then first of all we get hemiacetal, that is alkoxy alcohol. They are known as hemiacetal. When aldehydes react with equivalent quantity of monohydric alcohol in the presence of dry hydrogen chloride, then alkoxy alcohol, which are known as hemiacetals, they are formed. On further reacting with one more molecule of alcohol, a gem dialkoxy alcohol will be formed, which is known as acetal. A gem dialkoxy compound will be formed, which is known as acetal. So let us see. When we have aldehydes here, say I am taking here ethanol, I am reacting with we have to take monohydric alcohol. So let us take here C2H5OH, that is ethanol, in the presence of dry HCl. So what will happen? Here we will get OC2H5 and here OH. See here, this is alkoxy alcohol. One alkoxy group is there, one alcoholic group is there. So it is alkoxy alcohol, which is an intermediate. It is known as hemiacetal. Right, hemiacetal of ethanol. This is ethyl hemiacetal of ethanol. Right, and then on further treatment with one more molecule, that is C2H5OH, one more molecule of alcohol, we get dialkoxy compound. Water will be released. This compound, dialkoxy compound, is known as acetal. Understood? So when aldehydes are treated with alcohol in the presence of dry HCl, first we get alkoxy alcohol, which is hemiacetal, as an intermediate, and then we, on further treatment with one more molecule of alcohol, we get gem dialkoxy. Why gem dialkoxy? Because the same carbon is containing both the ether group. The compound is formed, which is known as acetal. Now if ketones, they are treated with dihydric alcohol, such as ethylene glycol. Then a cyclic compound is formed. Right, and this cyclic compound is known as ketal. This is ethylene glycol, so this is ethylene glycol ketal of propanone. Ethylene glycol ketal of propanone. Right, so the alcohol with the aldehydes with monohydric alcohol give you acetal, whereas ketone with dihydric alcohol will give you ketal. Hope you understood this. This acetal and ketals can also be converted to the parent aldehydes and ketones. So this is ethylene glycol ketal, and this ethylene glycol ketals or acetal, they can be further hydrolyzed with aqueous mineral acid to yield corresponding aldehyde and ketones respectively. Right, now next we will study the nucleophilic addition reaction with ammonia and their derivatives in the next class. Till then, goodbye.